All right, welcome to our final part of this Kansas barn in the fall. Today we're just going to kind of work on the truck, get it done, get some final grasses, just some touch ups, maybe finish those bushes there on the back right. But this is going to be the final one. It's going to really turn out nice, I believe, and it's something that anybody can paint along with. So anyway, what I've done here is I've got that little flat brush, gone into probably just a little yellow ochre with some burnt umber, just to kind of highlight up there. But again, this is just going to be going back and forth, just kind of blending colors, kind of seeing where maybe the light's hitting it. And these are all things that you can do. It's just a matter of taking your time. And again, I did this one fairly quick. We could spend a lot more time putting a lot more detail in it. And what I'll probably do with the original that I painted is I'm going to make it a more sharper, a little more sharper image. I'm going to possibly use my Cobra oils. And if I do, maybe I'll just video that and show you how it turns out once it's been highlighted. But anyway, just kind of watch the process, paint along, or just watch and see how the process goes. And I believe you're really going to enjoy how this works out and how really easy it is. Okay, I thought I'd let you just listen to that and kind of watch the paint so you don't have to hear me just babble on. Now what I've kind of done is went into that Prussian blue, added just a little bit of titanium white to kind of lighten it up. Right now it's on the darker side, and what I'm doing here is kind of putting the base coat or the mid-tones, just so when I start highlighting it, you'll see that, and it'll give it that more dimensional look. But anyway, I was hoping to get this put on early this morning. It's Sunday morning, but yesterday I had a class, art class in the morning that I taught, and I'm getting ready for a craft fair next weekend in a town down the road, about an hour from here, not far. So I've been kind of getting that ready and kind of slacked off on my painting, or in this case, my editing. I know for those that are probably painting along and want to see it finished, I was probably waiting for it. So now we can get it out and you can work on it at your leisure. And I think probably this afternoon I'll have to come up with another painting, start looking at some paintings for next year in my art classes. I think I have February and March. I need something for January. Probably do like a mountain scene, maybe a cabin. And then I believe I have February and March. Actually, I may have April because I got one that has some raindrops in it, and looking out a window, which that one's one of my videos on here. I'll probably do that one for class, but I may do that in April for my April showers class. But right now I'm just taking a little bit of that Mars black, a little bit of burnt umber, and kind of putting some of the shaded areas in there by where that sun or the light wouldn't be hitting it. And again, this is just a process of layering. Just layer and layer and kind of blend it together, make it smooth. No harsh lines. There's nothing worse than having harsh lines in your painting, as you can see. Now you can see here I've lightened up the paint. I put my underpainting on, and just almost probably the blue, the ultramarine blue. Gosh, I kind of lost my train of thought for a minute. So now what I've done is just take that same blue and added some white to it, maybe just a touch of yellow, and kind of making it that, like this old truck probably was a little darker blue, and it's kind of fading. You can see all the rust on it. And again, I'm going to probably take this painting eventually and start doing more highlight on the truck, make it look more sharp, crisper. And I think, I'm almost convinced that I'm going to use the Cobras, the water-soluble oils. Just kind of touching up around here, wherever I see that old blue paint may have poked through, but the rust is pretty much taken over. Unless somebody comes and saves it, it's probably just going to sit there and rust away. Alright, now I'm going to take my maul stick, just to kind of support my hand, taking my little script liner brush, just kind of going around those old lights, kind of giving a little shadow in there, kind of around that front grill also, kind of put some shadow lines. And if they're a little too thick here, they're a little too pronounced, don't worry, we'll go back in and we'll start blending it all a little better. Then I'll go back here in just a few minutes and we'll put a coating as if like there's the old light bulb. Okay, just like I said, I enjoy using that maul stick because it sure helps when you're starting to get a little tired and you're backed away from the canvas, because again, you've got the camera to your right and I got a table in front of me with my paints, so I quickly, if I'm not filming, I put my paints to the left and then I slide up closer to the canvas, and then I can kind of rest my hand And sometimes I'll even take and put it on an inclined table, just lay it down flat and then incline it. A little easier to paint. And then I had a board I made that had a couple blocks on each side, and they sat over the canvas, over the painting, so I could move that around, set my hand right on top of it, right over the painting, and just move it where I wanted. That thing works great for oils where you can't really get your hand in there. Okay, went back to that little flat brush with some of that ultramarine blue and white. Like I said, maybe a touch of yellow. I'm just going to go in and kind of highlight some areas. Again, I'll kind of come up where the rust is, and I'll highlight that fender a little bit more, make it look like the light's hitting it. And the wheel wells down there, they're just dark, they're black. The old truck has been there so long that the tires have either rotted off, but I think somebody's probably just taken the tires and the rims off of it, and it's just sitting there. Because a lot of times on these old trucks like this, it's been there a long time. That's what you'll see, you know, some young kid or some farmer being frugal needed some tires for his truck, and hey, those fit, so he took them off that old truck and was repurposing them. So that's what you do when you live in the country. And I know here in the Midwest, our farmers are very resilient. They can come up with all kinds of things to reuse things. And I know it's not unique to our area. It's all over the country. Farmers have just had to learn to be resilient and learn to adapt and find new ways and different ways to repurpose equipment. All right, now what I'm doing is just start highlighting that running board a little bit, and it may change too. Just kind of defining where that's at. And like I said earlier, I didn't do a whole lot of really detailed work in this painting to finish it. And so I will tell you guys, if you're painting it, spend a lot more time and put a lot more detail in it. Again, the reason, and at the end, my picture, the truck may look a little blurry. And that was done for a purpose, and I'll explain it here in a minute. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking a little scruffy brush or one of those little deerfoot brushes, and I'm just speckling on some burnt umber to make it kind of look like that old rust. You can see definition in the rust. And then that way, when we do go to highlight some of those paints and edges, that will really pop. So anyway, I go back. The reason that I didn't spend all of my time doing that is because I knew I was going to highlight. So here we are putting the grasses in. So just kind of watch and enjoy. Okay, that was was just sped up a little bit. But the grasses are very, once you get into a rhythm, it's very mesmerizing. It's very relaxing doing grasses. I just use a script liner brush, whatever color. That was probably yellow ochre with a touch of white and a touch of yellow in it until I got the kind of colors I want. And then I mix up about three different colors. I'll have some darker, maybe a mid color grass, and then a brighter grass. So in the shade, I can use those darker colors, and in other areas where you might see some in there, but they're not really highlighted, and then some where the sun or the light's really hitting it. And then I can even adjust that a little bit. What I'm doing here now is just taking that little script liner brush and kind of adding some more limbs, working on the bark on the tree, just touching some of that up. And again, I'm probably going to use that Cobra paint on those little highlights, like the leaves, the cracks in the barn, the truck, some of the grasses. But here I'm trying to do some highlighting without taking away from the truck or other parts of the painting. This one was really a lot of fun. And I know in the beginning, I think I said how I got started. I drew the barn, got it in, researched the truck, looked at several different reference pictures I have, things like that, until I came up with what I wanted. Now I'm just going to kind of go back here and just start putting some little trees that are setting back in there. And I believe that at the end of this, my battery had ran low, so I had to stop. But there at that little peak on the right side, I've added another tree, and I'll show it when it might be in the final picture. But anyway, I really enjoyed painting this, and I hope everybody enjoyed painting along. So please join me next time for another painting. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Have a great week.